would come forward to be sworn in by the mayor.
We'll let you know that you're gonna say, oh my God, this is my nephew. I didn't even know he applied for this, but thank God for the Police and Fire Commission. Takes all the politics out of it, but, Aaron, I've known you a long time, so, plus, this is a special moment for me also. I, Aaron Corsigrosa, have been appointed to the office of police officer in the city of Princeton, in the county of Bureau, in the state of Illinois, do solemnly swear, affirm, that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, and the Constitution of the state of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of police officer to the best of my ability. Okay, okay, and
Come up
you want any? No sticking. Mom, you want to come up and give me that?
Absolutely.
Congratulations. Okay, Barry, if you want to lead the charge, your officers or anyone that's here for the ceremony can be dismissed now, if you want to lead. And anyone in the public can lead too. Aaron, if you want to lead, you can lead too. Okay, now we'll move on with regular business, starting with the minutes from the April 6th meeting.
Your Honor, I move that we approve the minutes of the council meeting held on Monday, April 6th.
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any additions or corrections? If not, clerk call roll.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry.
Aye.
Commissioner Swanson.
Aye.
Commissioner Querom.
Aye.
Mayor Kane.
Aye. Now we'll move on with payment of bills, starting with Commissioner Warren.
Thank you, Your Honor. Tonight I have the bills for the planning department totaling $13,812.73. Administration of $16,972.21. Tourism of $3,728.81. Property department of $23,669.78 for a grand total of $58,183.53. Your Honor, examine these bills and believe them to be true and correct and that they be paid.
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? If not, clerk call roll.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry.
Aye.
Commissioner Swanson.
Aye.
Commissioner Querom.
Aye.
Mayor Kane.
Aye. Thank you, Commissioner Warren. Now move on to Commissioner Mabry.
Thank you, Mayor King. This evening I have the bills and payrolls for the Department of Streets and Public Improvements as follows. In the street department, a total of $57,264.79. In wastewater collection, $61,498.34. In wastewater treatment, $6,017.07. Wastewater administration of $19.09. The cemetery fund of a department of $14,056.49. And garbage expenditures of $24,449.65. For a grand total of $163,305.43. Mayor Kane, I've examined the bills and payrolls, finding them to be true and correct, and request payment be made.
Second.
I have a motion is second on Commissioner Mabry's bills. Any further discussion? If not, clerk call roll.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry.
Aye.
Commissioner Swanson.
Aye.
Commissioner Querom.
Aye.
Mayor Kane.
Aye. Thank you, Commissioner Mabry. Now move on to Commissioner Swanson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Tonight I have the bills in public health, safety, and civil defense.
The police department bills and payroll total $64,338.27. Fire ambulance department bills and payroll total $112,557.46, which brings the grand total of the department $176,895.73. Your Honor, I've examined these bills, find them to be true and correct, and I move that we pay them.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? If not, clerk call roll.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry.
Aye.
Commissioner Swanson.
Aye.
Commissioner Querem.
Aye.
Mayor Kane.
Aye. Thank you, Commissioner Swanson. Now move on to Commissioner Queren.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight I have the payroll and invoices for public property utilities, first for electric. General account, total invoices, $40,000. Electric generation payroll invoices total $620,747.54. Electric distribution payroll invoices totaled $153,084.80. Electric administration payroll invoices, $18,497.33. Telecommunication invoices totaled $3,695.94. Water treatment payroll invoices totaled $78,218.28. Water distribution payroll invoices, $36,317.14. Water administration payroll invoices total $4,655.12. Total both departments, $955,216.14. I've reviewed these bills, I believe these to be true and accurate, and I believe they be paid.
Second.
I have a motion is second. Any further discussion? If not, clerk call roll.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry.
Aye.
Commissioner Swanson.
Aye.
Commissioner Querem.
Aye.
Mayor Kane.
Aye. Thank you, Commissioner Queren. Now we'll move on to regular business, starting with Commissioner Warren.
Thank you, Your Honor. Tonight we got ordinance O-15-04-02-41 to ordinance rezoning real estate within the corporate limits of the city of Princeton from M1 to M2. This is the second and final reading. I move the approval of this ordinance.
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? If not, clerk call roll.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry.
Aye.
Commissioner Swanson.
Aye.
Commissioner Querem.
Aye.
Mayor Kane.
Aye.
We also have a plan commission recommendation. On Tuesday, April 14th, the Princeton Plan Commission Board of Zoning Appeals held a public hearing to review the final plat and planned unit development petition for Princeton Diamond Development LP. The petitioner requests approval of the final plat and planned unit development plan for the 40-unit multi-building senior development on approximately 7.42 acres, which is the east side of South Gossie Boulevard. And I move the approval of this plan commission recommendation.
I'll second that.
I have a motion is second. Any further discussion? If not, clerk call roll.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry.
Aye.
Commissioner Swanson.
Aye.
Commissioner Querem.
Yes.
Mayor Kane.
Aye.
My next order of business is the Regional Economic Development Funding, and I'll turn it over to Jeff to explain this to us.
Thank you. Some of you are aware, if not all of you are aware, that over the last year or so, myself and Pete Nelson and Joni Hunt, as well as a number of other representatives from various communities and counties of LaSalle, Bureau, and Putnam have been working towards a common goal to create what's being referred to as a regional economic development effort. And over that period of time, bylaws have been created. And most of you have probably read, if you haven't heard me say, that I've spent a great deal of time in council meetings throughout those three county areas, along with Mayor Coleman of Hennepin and Putnam County Representative Sheila Hagee, and we've been talking to all the communities about their involvement. The goal is to create a regional economic development group that would be funded 50% from the public sector, which would be the cities and counties, and 50% from the private sector, which of course would be industry and retail. At this point, my role was to solicit those, to provide that information to the public sector entities, and they're now signing letters of intent. So with that said, it was time to bring that letter of intent to our city council to see if you're agreeable to contribute and involve yourself over the next 3 years into this newly formed regional economic development effort. Roughly, our share is approximately $10,000 a year. They're asking for a 3-year commitment, but only an annual payment, and then each year there'll be an annual payment for that amount. It's based on $1.30 per capita. Again, this reaches from Streeter to Mendota, from Ottawa to Princeton, and even further west, of course, to the edge of Bureau County. So all the work has been been completed now, and again, they're just asking each of the cities to decide if they'd like to be a involved player in this as it moves forward. They'll be hiring 3 staff individuals that will be representing this region throughout the country at various conferences and marketing seminars and proposals in order to bring new economic development back to the north central region. And for those that are not aware, this is a very common thing. Rockford has it, Bloomington Normal, Peoria, just about every major area throughout the state has some type of regional economic development, and we felt we were missing the boat here. So that's a quick summary of where we're at right now. Any questions?
I don't think this is a bad thing, but, you know, the city council here in Princeton, I know you've have gone around to other communities, but other than what you just mentioned here, you haven't really, you know, you haven't addressed the city council or the residents on this, and, you know, I'd be interested in I guess, a more detailed, you know, business plan going forward. You mentioned there's 3 staff people that will be, you know, salaries, for instance, I think a little bit more broad-based explanation.
Would you like that now, or would you like me to bring that with some written documentation?
Well, the other thing, well, let me bring this up, because this is something that occurred to me. This is for a 3-year commitment. So I'm wondering if, maybe we shouldn't wait until the new council's sworn in, because the, council members that will be sworn in 2 weeks will be with this plan for the 3 years. I'm just wondering if they shouldn't be brought in on this, and have them be allowed to vote on this.
Well, I can bring the same proposal that I've taken to the other communities to the city council at the next meeting, if you'd like, and then make that determination at that time. Sure, that's fine.
That'd be a good idea. So I just recommend tabling it then until then.
Is that a motion?
I don't know, is that a motion?
Is that a motion? Yeah, I motion to table this proposal until our next regular meeting.
Second.
A motion is second. Now, is there any further discussion? Not, clerk call roll.
Commissioner Warren?
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry?
Aye.
Commissioner Swanson?
Aye.
Commissioner Querem? Mayor Kane?
Aye.
And my final agenda item is the building permit report. We've had 12 permits for the month of March that total $240,000. Through 2015, we've had 12 permits versus a year ago where we had 8 permits. So we're up. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Warren. Now we move on to Commissioner Swanson.
Tonight we have a fire truck proposal that I'm gonna turn it over to Jeff to explain.
Chief Woolley, for quite a little while now, has been trying to gain some support from our regional or from our rural areas that we represent and serve as part of our department. And this year, those regional folks are in a position to contribute towards the purchase of a new vehicle. And so, as the memo explains, between foreign fire tax dollars, which don't affect our direct budget, the rural area, $100,000, which of course comes out of somebody else's budget, the combination of these 3 entities, and the fire department's memorial fund that I left out, for $25,000. So it's $100,000 from the rural area, 25 from the foreign fire tax, and 25,000 from the memorial fund, for a total of $150,000 towards the purchase of a $210,000 tender, as they refer to it. I like to call that a tanker truck that, you know, they use to serve the rural areas when fire situations arise. So what they're asking for is $60,000 from city coffers to come up with the needed amount. And in this situation, with them funding $150,000, I felt like it was justified to go ahead and take that out of our electric, reserves and pay that back in our next budget year or 2, as it's explained in the memo, in order to get that truck here and get that process moving forward.
Do you need a motion then, Jeff?
Yes.
I make the motion that we move ahead with purchasing this fire truck.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? If not, clerk call roll.
Commissioner Warren?
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry?
Aye.
Commissioner Swanson?
Aye.
Commissioner Querem?
Aye.
Mayor Kane?
Aye.
Tonight we also have a new Bucom lease, and I will turn that over to Jeff to explain.
Thank you. I think this is kind of an unusual situation in that the city entered into a lease with Bucom for the facility quite a while back, And, right now, there's been some complications over the years about what they could actually legally own and what they couldn't, and they've now worked out those details. So what they're requesting of you is an extension to the existing lease, and then we'll go through the final terms of this thing to transition and move forward. So I think all you're really being asked to address tonight is an extension on the existing lease.
I move we extend their lease.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? I should clarify 90 days, since I did not say that out loud. No further discussion. Clerk call roll.
Commissioner Warren,
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry,
Aye.
Commissioner Swanson.
Aye.
Commissioner Querem.
Aye.
Mayor Kane.
Aye. Thanks, Commissioner Swanson. This time, I'll call on the city manager's report. Pastor, Okay, at this time, I would have recommendation to appoint Mike Smith to the Industrial Development Commission Board.
So move.
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? If not, clerk call roll.
Commissioner Warren,
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry,
Aye.
Commissioner Swanson.
Aye.
Commissioner Querem.
Aye.
Mayor Kane.
Aye. Okay, at this time, is there any old business? Is there any new business?
I just have one item, Your Honor.
Excuse me.
Next month is gonna usher in a new era here for the city council. I've been on the council for 16 years, and Keith has been my mayor all those 16 years. I'm proud to have served with Keith Kane. I'm proud to call him my friend. I always joke with him, I knew his wife way before I knew him. But it's together, that's a pretty good team. Keith and I always didn't agree on a lot of things, but what we did agree on was that we always parted our ways as friends and co-counselors, I guess, if you could say. So my hat's off to Keith. Thank you for your service. I hope you have a fruitful retirement.
Thank you. At this time, I want to recognize Ray Swanson. He's been on here about 8 years with me now, 12 years, that's right, 12 years with me. I figured out the other day I served with 21 commissioners and one other mayor, so I've had a lot of different personalities over the years. So, but we always kept moving Princeton forward, and I think that's positive. I continue to hopefully, and I think I will see that happen with the new council coming in, to keep moving this city in the right direction. No one wants to see their city go backwards. So, Ray, I want to thank you for the 12 years that you served on the council. I do have a few other words to say. I'm a hell of a big guy, but I guess I'm sorry. Right, Rodney? I want to thank my wife, my family. Some of my sons are here this evening, and my grandchildren. I see two of my grandsons here. My big grandson is here, and and not my youngest grandson, but he's close to it. But it's time for me to retire from this, go on. But also, I have two sisters and a brother here tonight. And I want to thank you for being here, all of you. And Aaron, I know you'll do a great job for the city. I also have a very special friend here. She was here when I first started, my very first council meeting. And she's here tonight. And girls, if you need to know how to report news, talk to her. She never falsified news. She always made it true and what it was. And that's Terry Simon. Terry, I know you and I have had some words, but I love you dearly. And I mean, so I'll get off the soapbox up here now. shake your hand. Like I said, you gotta have an open mind, but you also have to be stern in some of your decisions, so it's not an easy job. I have your number at home, I will put it on my recorder, as soon as we get the first rain, I'll be able to call. So, but, no, I enjoyed it, we've had a lot of different things go on in this community, and like I said before, I expect that to happen again, so. Is there any other new business? Any public comment? I would entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session.
Yeah, I move the adjourn the executive session to discuss personnel and to the regular council meeting on Monday, May the 4th.
I'll second that.
Motion is second, clerk call roll.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner Mabry.
Aye.
Commissioner Swanson.
Aye.
Commissioner Querem.
Aye.
Mayor Kane.
Aye. For the last time, we're in